Welcome to an introduction to constitutional law. Basis of law. The U.S. Constitution is the basis of all of the other laws, even if they seem unrelated to constitutional law, such as contracts or property. The U.S. Constitution also provides our government structure. So really, constitutional law is the foundation for all U.S. law and government. First, we're going to discuss a separation of powers and federalism. We will discuss how power is separated between the different branches of government and also how it's separated between federal government and state and local government. We're going to talk about the types of power. We will look more closely at judicial power, congressional power, and the power of the executive branch or the president. We will discuss foreign powers and war powers, what powers the president has to deal with other nations, go to war, deal with treaties, foreign relations, ambassadors, and how this overlaps with congressional power. We will look at the Commerce Clause. We will look at the history of Congress's most substantial power and examine how this has changed over the years and what the modern implication might be. We will look at equal protection, the Constitution's guarantee of equal protection of the laws, which means that similarly situated people should be treated equally. We will talk about what a protected class is and the various standards of review the court might use for equal protection. We will talk about due process. We will examine the Constitution's protection of due process of laws, both substantive and procedural. We will talk about substantive due process, the idea that the Constitution protects rights, some which are fundamental, some which are not. We will discuss which rights are fundamental and the standard of review they will receive when examined by the court. We will also talk about procedural due process, the guarantee that an individual is given a notice in a hearing, some sort of process before life, liberty, or property is taken away. Now, when the government takes away life or liberty, we call that criminal procedure, and we have a whole different class devoted to that. So in this context, we will mainly be talking about the process needed when property is taken away. So we will address what types of things constitute property and what type of process or procedure is needed. Last, but certainly not least, we will discuss the First Amendment. We will discuss the First Amendment guarantee of freedom of speech and freedom of religion, what this means, what standard of reviews are used, and if there are any exceptions. That's a summary of constitutional law.